Babe, turn on down small, babe. Thank you. Thank you for tuning to Ejeni's inspire you and motivate you with real life experiences, nuggets and wisdom nuggets with guests every now and then who will come and share their experiences, give you some wisdom nuggets, and hopefully achieve our aim. So thank you so much for joining us. Today is August 7th, 2020. I appreciate your presence here. We appreciate everybody who comes. Always come with a pen and a notepad to get something written down that you can apply to your lives once the show is over. It's a show real time. I hope I'm not lagging. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So today's topic is self-relationship. What do we define as self-relationship? This is episode 5, and we've talked about so many things that are very, very relevant and valuable. And I the topics of the show, I pray and get an idea of what it's gonna be, think about it, research a little bit, and then just come here with my heart. So self-relationship is something I never really thought about until, oh my goodness, welcome. See, this sister of mine always shows up for me. Even when hers clashes with my work hours or something, she shows up. Vern's John Closet, welcome, welcome. Is laggy? Really? I'm sorry. So welcome, Miss Vern's John Closet. Thank you so much for always supporting. Is it better or is it slow? I'm sorry. But can you hear me? We tested it out. Let me see. It sounds good. Is it still laggy? I'm doing okay. Thank you, Miss Burns. How are you? Love and light. Thank you so much for always supporting. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. Okay. Awesome. All right. So today we're talking about self-relationship. It's a topic that I've never really thought about. As a young lady, I never thought about having a relationship with myself. It's always okay, boyfriend and the husband. And then while you're in the relationship, you're thinking about how to, do everything else but take care of yourself. So I've been researching and I found out that self relationship is very important. It's that relationship that you have with yourself, not anybody else. You don't walk around and say, oh, he completes me or she completes me or something completes me. It's you. You completing yourself, knowing that you're enough, knowing that you're doing your darndest best for you, knowing that you are full. Like Oprah says, you have to be full of yourself till your cup runneth over. You have to be full. And what does full mean is just like when we go in a relationship, what are the things that you expect of that person? Are you expecting that of that person because you already have it covered? So that which you expect of that person is what you should have already. And if you don't have it, you start working on it as soon as you're able to. Singles, married, young teenagers, whoever is listening out there, start to learn more about yourself. Nobody can come and define who you are. And that's where we get into relationships where we don't know who we are. We just person to complete that void that we have. No. If you already have a void, if you have something that you're lacking, if you have something, some baggage that you're carrying around, nobody can fill it for you. I promise you that. If you're Christian, you have God in your life, you have the Holy Spirit, you can ask Him to just cover that hole, seal it up, whatever it is you have to do. That's if you're a Christian. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. So the reason why I thought about this self relationship, it just means not trying to change the way you are. I mean, not trying to change who you are for somebody else just because they want you to. Is being true to yourself, right? Um, it also means letting go. You having self relationship means letting go of people's negative expectations of us and trying to align with negative people, I would say, or negative sayings or perceptions or whatever about you. Sorry, I gotta pause my phone. I know my phone wasn't paused. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Self relationship is the most important aside the relationship with God. Let me clarify. Aside a relationship with God, Almighty God, the next relationship that is extremely important is the relationship you have with yourself. You cannot not know yourself and expect your boyfriend, your husband, your girlfriend, your wife to know who you are when you don't know who you are. In the aspect of, yeah, Vern says, yes, not changing who you are just because somebody thinks you should be that person. No, who are you in the first place? Right? And many of us kind of put ourselves in a box based on somebody's expectation. No, if we know these things of ourselves, then it kind of guides us to the kind of relationship we want to be in. When it comes to, for example, our health, I know personally I have to take my health more seriously. Quarantine, no quarantine. I know that. I tell myself that every day. Health wise, spiritually, financially, if financially as an individual you don't know enough about money, investments, um, things that are important to you, why do you think somebody else would? Right? If you have bad credit, why are you always looking for somebody to piggyback on? What are you doing to fix that? Like, what are you doing with you? So everything you're expecting somebody else to do, have you done it for yourself? Like, I was talking to my sister and I talked to one other young lady. I'm like, what I've learned in my 40s now is that we have this idea of what the ideal partner should be. Like last week, we talked about the ideal relationship. Are you in that place where you can have an ideal relationship? You cannot be in that place if you are not already. You know what I mean? You cannot be in that place of you can have this idea or ideal, meanwhile you're not ideal yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like my thing was never to be in a relationship where I'm a bug. I'm a burden to somebody. I want to be somebody of value to somebody. I want to be that person where if my husband is not, if he doesn't see me, he's worried about being with me. I'm a person of value. I haven't particularly even focused on being a person of value. I'm just being. But where a self relationship really starts is spending time with yourself. What are the things you like? What are the things you don't like? What is the line you can draw and say, this is where I stand in these particular areas of my life? This is where I am not doing that. I'm doing this. Do you have a full understanding? Because I think self-awareness, self-knowing who you are starts with that relationship you have with yourself. Do you have a routine? I mean, now I'm older. I have kids now, and I have so many responsibilities. Sometimes I'm hard on myself. I'm hard. When I mean I'm hard on myself in what I expect of me. But I have to still go back into myself and say, okay, you are just enough. Just sit down and organize your life and strategize. So I wish I knew this I wish I knew this of myself when I was 13, right? To know to wake up, make my bed. I don't know if you guys have watched that Gold Cast episode of that military guy or the Marine. It's not a pilot. It's Gold Cast, and it's a guy that has the military or something uniform on, and he was talking about starting to make your bed every day. You'd be amazed how important that is, right? And developing routines that works for you. That way, when you want to get in that relationship, you already know who you are. At work, I was talking to a girl yesterday, and she just got married, and she was talking about not changing her name just yet because she was working on her PhD. She wants to be doctor, her maiden name, before she's doctor, her married name. I was like, why is that? She's like, well, her dad always wanted her to be a doctor, and nobody else wants to be a doctor. So now that she wants to be a doctor, she just want to share that achievement with her husband's name. Not that she doesn't love her husband. I tend to agree with her because she knows what she wants. She knows what she planned on doing before she ever got married, and she's not adjusting that because she got married to her husband. And I respected her so much and how she confidently explained to me. She's a professor. She's 34 years old, and she's a professor in Pennsylvania. And she and I got our talk was like over an hour long. She was talking about she wished she knew herself at 12. That way, she knows that she can see BS from far away when it comes to guys. That she had to sit there and construct literally what she wants her life to be, spiritually, financially, socially, economically, everything. She just said I had to construct. I think she said at 23 or so, when she finished college, she had to construct her life and how she saw herself to be. And she said, listen, I have lived everything that I've written down. I didn't want to ask her if she believes in law of attraction, if she did a lot of it. I didn't want to ask all that. I just wanted to appreciate her sharing this with me because that's what I love to hear. That we as women, we as men, we as women or just human beings will take some time to ask, what do I really want? While you're single is better than when you're married, because then when you now change, it might not be acceptable by your spouse or your partner, right? It might not be acceptable. So what are the steps to take to have self-relationship? First of all, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to love physically, you have to love yourself. Whether you're overweight, underweight, whatever it is that you are, you have to love every part of you. Now, doesn't mean you cannot change where needs to be changed, right? But it's all part of growth. But you have to love yourself. You have to love grateful for this body you're in. Just be grateful. Be happy that you're in the body. Like I was telling my husband or who else, I said, I love my fingers. I know the best parts of my body that I love. I love my dimples. I love my flat nose. Like my family said my nose is flat. I don't care. I love my flat nose. I have big bulgy eyes like my dad. They call it Chinese. I love it. I love my earlobes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like start to love you. That way, when somebody comes and they're stingy with their compliments, you don't care about that because you already know, not in a cocky way, but listen, you already know you're beautiful. You already know you're whatever it is that you are. Embrace it and let that be your personal, brand of, okay, I love me. I love how I look. I love how I think. I love how I care. I love how kind I am. I love how grateful. If you don't say those things, you will start looking for them from somebody else who will not give you. And while you're starving, I was at that point in my life where you're starving to get acceptance from somebody and you're waiting for compliments. and the compliment will never come, and then you get heartbroken. Don't worry about the compliment. You already know who. I mean, it's cocky, right? But if you don't compliment yourself and say, I like for me, I like my teeth. I like my dentition. It might not be perfect. I wish I had gap teeth. That's a whole different story. I love all aspects of my body, and I wouldn't want anybody to come and tell me, like when I was younger, when I was bullied sometimes, not a serious bully, like family saying I'm skinny or I have flat nose or big forehead, whatever, whatever. It hurt my feelings because I just wanted one person to say I was beautiful. I never thought I was beautiful when I was little. This is very important for you guys to hear. I didn't think I was beautiful. I thought I was too skinny. I thought I had a flat behind. I thought I didn't like my body because back in Africa, the way I guess people show you love or what I don't even know is to say, look at your head, or you have a flat nose, or look at your long arms. Because I had long arms. I used to carry. If there are any other Nigerians here, you carry jerry cans. You fill the jerry cans up with water, and you have to carry them with your arms as young as when you're 10. They don't care. If you want to take a shower, go get some water. So I didn't start at 10 because I had older people living in the house, but I started carrying water. Like I'm telling you, like how many pounds? Like 25 pounds of like 25 pounds jug. You fill water in it. That's for bathing for the entire house. And if we have a big, like a big other drum as big as like I can't even describe it. Maybe you have 100 pound, 200 pound containers in the house, like drums. You have to go fetch water to fill those drums. You have to go fetch water to fill those drums. So I carried that when I was little a lot. I even thought I was going to be short because of that I carried on my head. If you're African, you must have excuse me, you must have done that once, twice, or a million times. And so I have really long arms, and they made fun of me about that. And then somebody, one of my uncles, had me come turn around in front of him, and he said, "My backside is on my shoulder." I felt so bad for a long time because I thought I was shapeless. I thought I didn't have any shape. I swear, I never thought I was beautiful or I looked good. And I made sure that I didn't go seeking that beauty from anybody else. I was scared to talk to guys. I was scared to have any relationship with any guy, just friends, okay. But if you say you want to date me, it's over because I don't want to have to do that because I didn't want to have to deal with them seeing me imperfect. So if you have any kind of imperfection in you, it's good to perfect it. At least get out of that and know that you are worthy, you are capable, you are beautiful, you are strong. Affirmations help a lot to get you out of these things, right? You look in the mirror, what do you see? You look in the mirror, what do you see? I looked in the mirror when I had dreads and I shaved it off because I couldn't identify myself in the mirror with myself. So I didn't want hair to be that thing that takes me away from who I know I am. So I chopped it off. And when I feel like it again, I can grow it back on. It doesn't matter, right? So again, number one is practice being grateful for your body. Number two, be kind to yourself. You want somebody to be kind to you, right? And you want somebody you to be kind, and you're kind to other people. How about let's start with ourselves? Why don't we start being kind to ourselves? Don't speak negative. Like sometimes I catch myself doing that, and that's not a good thing. And say, oh, when I take a picture, I'm like, oh my god, my cheek looks so that my nose looks so. I do that too. Even though I love my body, I do it out of joke. But then the things that come out of your mouth remain, right? They remain in the air somewhere. So why not look at myself and say, whoa, I look damn good. That's being kind. Taking care of my body. Because sometimes we work so hard. Sometimes we work so hard, we forget to take care of ourselves. Do a pedicure, go for a massage, read an amazing book, work out, treat our body like we deserve to be in this body. You know what I'm saying? So be kind to yourself and Um, Number three would be let go of your inner perfectionist. That's for me too. Listen, this show is not saying that I'm perfect, so I'm here to point fingers and um, just run my mouth. No, I'm going through the process too. So this show is almost like a journal. I'm going to have guests here come and talk about different things too, achievements, goals. Like I want somebody to be able to come here and break down what goal setting is. That way the kids that may watch right now or watch later understands in layman language how to set goals. Setting goals is just the truth. Setting goals and achieving goals, that's a whole different thing. But let go of your inner perfectionist. It's important to appreciate yourself, not to put so much pressure on yourself. Because sometimes you're putting pressure on yourself based on you're putting pressure on yourself based on my computer's lagging. Putting pressure on yourself based on expectations of other people, what you think in your head they're thinking, so you act. No, don't pressure yourself. Do not pressure yourself. Just take it easy, and you will see that when you do that, you're not perfect. You're gonna be exhausted trying to please people. You're gonna be simply exhausted. All right. So number three is let go of judgment. Let go of judgment. The same thing as letting go of inner perfectionist, inner perfectionist. Don't go into people's head and think what they're thinking of you because you're thinking that way. I mean, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I do that a lot. Welcome, 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 everybody. People in the bushes, people that are here. God bless you for being here. You are simply amazing. You could be anywhere else, any appreciated. Share me out if you want, if you care to. If not, that's okay. We're here just having fun. So let go of judgments. So refrain from gossiping about people, refrain from you also judging people, and honestly, practice kindness and acceptance towards others, right? Practice kindness and acceptance towards others. That way it comes all the way back to you. I believe in law of attraction. I mean, that's my own opinion. Law of attraction is just simply a circle, it's just a cycle, right? What you do, you get back. Just keep doing the same thing. Just keep doing the same thing. So I appreciate you guys being here. Begin to notice your inner self-critic. Like begin to notice when you're criticizing yourself. I'm trying to do that. Note, I try to make sure that I am not picking on little things that don't really matter, right? Like analyzing myself over what somebody else may analyze. Meanwhile, they haven't heard that, they haven't said anything to me. You know, I didn't mention one of them. Love who you are. When was the last time you prayed for yourself? When was the last time you almost like, okay, you've done a good job. You're doing a good job. Self talk, self praise, self affirm. Be strong. I am strong. I declare. If you can get the I Declare book from Pastor Joel Austin. Amazing stuff with prayers and stuff. Listen, you are made for more. You are simply an amazing being. Do not let anybody's thought. What did Les Brown say? Do not make anybody else's opinion be your reality. So you are your own person. You are your own strength. Aside God, you are your own strength. Nobody else can come and Even motivation, you have to motivate yourself, and others will be motivated. Love who you are. Don't criticize yourself. Don't be negative. Praise others. Don't be so selfish with praising. Praise others, and other people will praise you. But they're not praising you that you're something different, right? You already know who you are. You already know that. They are just adding to what you already know. So today's show, we might close a little bit early. Maybe that's in about 4 minutes. Um, the show is 30 minutes to 1 hour. When we have a guest, it might last to 1 hour, and when we don't, it's just to share some nuggets with you. So, running down through the list is loving who you are unapologetically, loving all part of your body, all part of yourself. Characters that you have that may be negative and they're not pleasing, they're not working for you. Let them go. Let them go and acquire new things and know that you are loved by you, that you love yourself. We're all working and we earn money. Go get a massage. If you're single, go have lunch date with yourself. Yes. And let me tell you, there's something that I don't know if you know Louis Hay. Louis Hay said that love in our lives. Do you know loving yourself can boost confidence? Not can, it does. It boosts your confidence. Loving yourself boosts your confidence. Also, self love, loving yourself is the best kind of love. It allows you to connect with your soul's purpose. You already know. I'm not saying be cocky about it. Accept yourself as you are and love on people as well. You know, it goes back. The more you love, the more it comes back to you. But let what comes back to you be genuine. But you already know that, right? So I thank you so much for being here. The sister trio, Vern's John Closet. This was supposed to be a short, a brief wisdom nuggets for you all to say, listen, love who you are, build a relationship with yourself. That way, because you don't expect less of yourself, you don't go in a relationship or partnership and start expecting too much because you already expect more of yourself, right? If we start from having a relationship with ourselves, we don't have to get into these toxic relationships and lose ourselves, right? And then you start picking the pieces and everything, and then you're hurt, and then you have heartbreak, and then that leads to like a person with a broken soul, and you don't want that, a broken heart. And you're walking around just looking for healing and looking for love and trying to have people soothe you, and that's how people get into drugs and alcohol and porn and all the stuff that they do. Really, right? If you love who you are, you have your own personal standards. And before anybody comes through that door of yourself, they already see the standards all around you. Your standards are your guards. Your standards are your inner guards that protect who you are. Can you guys still hear me? Or am I just running my mouth? All right, we have 2 minutes left. So 1 minute Jenny means only now exists. Only now exists, meaning that we cannot change what happened yesterday. We can only change today, and decisions and choices we make today will make a difference tomorrow. On this show, we aim to awaken you, empower you, inspire, and motivate you to be who you ought to be. I appreciate you all being here, and those who are going to watch it later. I hope this has blessed you. Have a fantastic relationship with yourself before you go into another amazing relationship. You need to love yourself before you love anybody else. Thank you so much, Sister Trio. We need to find, find who you are and know the truth of who you are before you expect more from anybody else. That way, you knowing yourself and that person who you want to be with, knowing themselves, when you come together, you're a dynamic duo. You are a force to be reckoned with because I'm setting goals for myself and you say that I'm hitting those goals. You're setting your goals for yourself that are and you see that I'm hitting them. to go this place, to go that place, to do these things, right? So financially, you're in sync. Emotionally, you're in sync. Health wise, you're a team. You're moving forward. You're making sure you don't have distractions. If we all had a relationship with ourselves, we will have better adult, wise, healthy relationships. This is your girl, Ejeni. I appreciate all of you being here. And see you next Friday. I will share the flyer before Friday. I appreciate you being here. Again, I said you could be anywhere else, but you're spending your 30 minutes with me today. Have a fantastic weekend and God bless you.